America and Americans everywhere are now fully aware of the tragedy that has happened at Waukesha, Milwaukee, at the hands of Darrell Brooks. And just a couple of hours ago, he was sentenced to bail. And I want to bring you through that at one of the local courts there. And the presiding judge or commissioner there setting the bail, hearing from the attorneys on both sides. And I want to bring you through some of the things that happened and why it was happening that way. I'm going to try to make it quick so you don't have to deal with the length of the proceedings, but I'll leave the entire video in the description if you want to take a look at it and hopefully open our eyes to what's going on and the way this system works and the way that the media and different people are responding to different things that happen in America. And of course, I'm going to be sharing my opinion with you, and perhaps you'll like some things and maybe not like other things. So at this point, Darrell Brooks is about to walk in and make his appearance for the first time before this commissioner. He may also be a judge, I'm not entirely sure, but you can see him being brought in, and his attorneys are sitting there, his defense attorneys. Those are publicly provided. He certainly did not have any financial ability to hire them. And, you know, one of the things that's, you know, she puts her arm around him. Now, she's just doing her job at this point. She by no means is necessarily trying to defend him, but how unbelievable it is to have to put your arm around somebody like that. Let's just take a listen here.
Leslie Basie, appearing for the state of Wisconsin.
Thank you. And for Mr.
Those are
Brooks,
the prosecuting
Darrell Brooks
attorneys
appears
presenting
in person
themselves.
in custody with attorneys Anna Keyes and Jeremy Perry. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to
Defense
you.
attorneys. So at this bail setting, I'm going to skip ahead here big time, but what's going to end up happening is they're going to end up going to the prosecuting attorneys who are sitting right here, who are zoomed in on right now, and they're going to ask them what they believe that bail should be set at. And before they do release that information, what they believe the bail should be, they're going to list off the reasons why. Let's go ahead and scroll forward. The commissioner here is just going to release all the accounts against him at this point. She's going to start listing off all of his things, and this takes such a length of time. It's unbelievable. I'm going to skip through a lot of this. Just listen how long this goes on for.
Do you have any other deaths result? The immediate concern, and that involves the loss of life that defendant presents to our community. Not only flight risk, but the dangerousness that he presents.
Let me just stop it right here. So it took her well over 10 minutes to list off the litany list of different things that this man has gone through in 3 different states. Much of it was violence related, abuse related, domestic related, fighting, weapon possession, already not, you know, having issues with bail. And you can see him here, like, you know, moving like this. And he does cry a little bit throughout this court case. It's just sickening to me. Now, of course, in the United States of America, everyone's presumed innocent until proven guilty. But the strength of the case here is just absolutely ridiculous against this person, and to see him sitting there crying, it's just, I mean, is this acting? You know, we obviously had the recent case also in Milwaukee, Kyle Rittenhouse, and many had proclaimed that he was the one who was acting. By the way, Kyle Rittenhouse had no criminal history, 0. He freely handed over his phone to the police, and they found 0 on his phone. Nothing. He's a kid. I mean, kids put stupid stuff on their phone all the time. They found nothing. This person has criminal history that's so long, it took the prosecuting attorney over 10 minutes to read it out, which is disturbing. It's not normal. This is, if you have a criminal history, it might be 2 or 3 offenses for some of these people. Many times it's no offenses. It never takes 10 minutes, and it takes 10 minutes for this guy. He's been in these proceedings many times in the past. He's very, very familiar with this and has posted bail many times in the past, but now he's sitting here rocking back and forth, crying. Maybe he's the victim in this situation. I mean, it's just sickening. The attorney hasn't even gotten to what they believe the bail should be posted at.
Your Honor, I'm asking for $5 million cash bail. I know that's a large amount of money, but I think it is warranted on this history.
$5 million. That is a very large amount of bail. And there's a reason why, even with his rap, even with his criminal past, and even with the severity of what he just did, which all has to be taken into account, $5 million, she's still hesitating at saying that. And I know some of you are probably thinking, why? Make it $100 million. There's actually a reason why that I need to share with you in a second, but I'll share this towards the end of the video here. Now he goes over to the defense attorneys, and they have to list their reasons why they think maybe it should be lower.
What amount of monetary bail is reasonable and necessary to assure Mr. Brooks's appearance in court? I guess at today's hearing, the only thing I would add for the court's consideration is that Mr. Brooks is financially indigent, does qualify for public defender representation, and that individual circumstance must be taken into account.
Does that conclude your argument?
It does.
Thank you, sir.
Does that conclude your argument? He's not even disputing any of this stuff. Not usually a defense attorney at this point would try to say, well, listen, this person, he's been involved in community, he's a coach, he's got little kids, he's a good father, look at this. They try to really present the person, even if they're not like that, they try to present the person as if they are. Zero attempt here. Zero. Nothing. They're disputing nothing. He might as well have basically said, we agree with everything that the prosecuting attorney just said. But, of course, he has to say, well, he's, financially indigent. That's all he had. The commissioner overseeing this is okay, that's it. At this point, there's a lengthy part where the commissioner is now going to go through everything himself. It's going to take like 20 minutes. I'm not going to make you go through the 20 minutes, but he goes through everything and hesitates so much on wanting to issue this bail because they're so worried that it's so high. But I'll take you through just a little bit here.
And I've not seen anything like this in my very long career. It seems to be a very strong case for the state. Likelihood of incarceration, which is the other aspect of bail, is absolute. If you are found guilty of any one of these, a multitude of them, it's a life imprisonment sentence that must be meted out. So I have no problem. I just, with that bail, it's extraordinarily high, but it's an extraordinarily big case. It's an extraordinarily serious case with an extraordinary history of this gentleman, of fleeing, of hurting people, of not following court orders, not following criminal laws, not following just your societal norms. So I know that that's extraordinarily high bail. It's warranted here, and I am setting cash bail in the amount of $5 million.
Even this commissioner is agonizing over the $5 million bail. The reason why is this little thing called the Eighth Amendment. So in the Eighth Amendment, you can see there right at the top, it says excessive bail should not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted. They know that they're wrestling against these constitutional rights. Now, I'm absolutely a believer in the Constitution of the United States of America because it provides the average regular citizen unprecedented rights on planet Earth in the United States of America, and they have to be upheld. Right here, we have such a severe issue that even these commissioners and judges in Milwaukee who have tended to issue out unbelievably low bails. And there's been a push generally on the liberal end of things by different representatives in our House, like AOC and many different liberal leading Congress people and judges to continue to lower bail amounts for reasons of equity. That's the reason why this gentleman has been able to bail himself out nearly every single time, because no matter how many crimes he's committed, the bail that's been set for him has been so low, he's been able to post it every single time. And I think he was out on bail when he committed this crime too. Nobody would keep him in there for anything. It just couldn't happen, no matter how long the rap sheet is. And this is because these places in America are trying so hard to provide what they're calling equity or equality in these different situations that unfortunately it ends up resulting in very bad people getting out there. And in this situation, $5 million bail is just massive. And they were agonizing over it because they did not want to violate these constitutional rights that are here. I find it stunning the way that this has been treated in the media, how the media failed to even recognize that it was a man at first, even though they knew it was. The man, woman, they don't know. They wanted to say that the crime, a car, they're not a person. They didn't want to have it be a person because they so badly do not want to be seen as saying somebody of a certain race. And I could care less what the race of the individual is. I want to know what's happening here. And then just a few weeks earlier, the media pounced at the opportunity of labeling somebody immediately. Even our president of the United States, within days of what happened to Kyle Rittenhouse, was willing to say straight out falsehoods about the individual, connecting him. I don't think he directly said he was a white supremacist, but connecting him with that. He connected him with militia groups. He's not a part of any militia groups, but our president said that. He's not connected with white supremacy at all, but he said that. The media said that Kyle Rittenhouse crossed state borders with a weapon, which is illegal. They said that. It was a lie. They couldn't help but list this as a white man, a white person crossing over. They couldn't help themselves. They were loving every moment about it, listing off his race. It's falsely reporting. Many people believe that Kyle Rittenhouse, killed black individuals. None of them were black. They were all white. And there was more and more that was going on. They were crucifying the kid before he got anything. In this situation, this person literally did one of the most disgusting acts, and people are coming out, oh, he's just, maybe he'll claim self-defense. This self-defense, are these people insane? Are they crazy? I mean, there's no one in their right mind that could have watched that Kyle Rittenhouse court case. And I watched a lot of it myself. Not the whole thing, I'll be honest with you. I didn't watch moment by moment, but I watched a lot of it. No sane individual could watch those court proceedings and come out with any other reasoning than Kyle Rittenhouse probably foolishly tried to help individuals, and that's what he was doing. He was providing medical aid, he was cleaning up graffiti, and then he was protecting private property is what he was doing. He probably shouldn't have been doing that as a 17-year-old. But he completely was defending himself in front of a mob that was trying to kill him. Actually, 3 individuals in particular who were literally trying to rip the gun away from him, pointing a gun in his face. And at every moment, he tried not to actually be involved in this. He was trying to run away from these individuals and trying to get to the police. Nobody in their right mind could have watched that court case and come out with any other conclusion of defense. And then this guy straight up rams his car after detectives try to stop him into crowds of children and men and women at a Christmas parade. Oh, and we're going to claim defense. I mean, America's going insane. We're going insane over race. So insane that we won't just put aside race and just look at what happened. Look at the situation at hand. And even here, agonizing over this because they don't want to violate anything. And our media underreporting everything. They have all the information, so much information on this individual. They don't want to report it. And now I wouldn't be surprised if many of the media outlets just begin to squash this story over time. And it's unfortunate to say this, but if it was a person of a different race, surely it would be around the clock for weeks on end. And it's just unfortunate. And I'm not the kind of person who even likes to bring that stuff up because he's a black man. He's a black man. Does this mean that black people are bad? No. Kyle Rittenhouse was a white kid, now a man. Does this mean that white people are bad? No. But this is what the media wants you to believe. Even our government pushes this nonsense. They're trying to divide us. They're trying to create warfare amongst people in society. This is something that governments have done in the past, usually not with the help of media, but now with the help of media, which is insanity. And it seems like the only people who are sane are the citizens of the United States, who many people can take a look at this and just understand how unbelievable it is. The people who are reporting these things to us and what they are saying. and the slant and the bias they're trying to drive into our brains. We're going to continue to follow this case. I'm going to bring you through things and try to explain why certain things are happening and how things are going. I don't perceive that this is going to be a very long case. I don't think any of the victims, the individuals, the families of the victims are going to want to say anything. I think their lives are destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. Christmas too. Christmas parade. And their lives are absolutely destroyed. They don't want to say a word. I don't know what they're going to do. What are they going to do? I think it's going to be a quick case, but, hopefully as things proceed, if something else comes up, I'll share that with you. As always, thank you for coming along with me. Just kind of sharing these thoughts along with me. I'll catch you guys next time.